Welcome back to my HO model scale railroad, the Cape Cod Highline. Here's an overview of what we're working with today. We're going to work on some scenery, plastic cloth, building up some mountains, putting together some model track bumpers. We're going to be using some WALTHERS bumper kits. These side cutters will cut all the parts off the flash. There are 4 parts for each bumper. Super glue to put all the parts together according to the instructions, and some VALLEJO mahogany brown paint. This is what it looks like when we're finished. Next, we're going to work on gluing up the entrance to the tunnel, to the mountain, and filling in the gaps. Note the gap there in front. We've used some plaster cloth to fill that gap in, as well as using plaster cloth as a cement to hold the tunnel face onto the mountain itself. Next, we'll work on what I call Upper Pilgrim Lake. We'll use some Woodland Scenics Plaster Cloth. Here's Lower Pilgrim Lake and up the falls, and this is Upper Pilgrim Lake. We'll use some plaster cloth to cover this in, build up the scenery. Here's what it looks like after we've used the plaster cloth. Note the lake itself, the Upper Pilgrim Lake. In addition to the Upper Pilgrim Lake access panel, there's also the mountaintop access panel that I need to reinforce. I've used plaster cloth here to reinforce this one, the mountaintop. Both of these access panels are easily removable to get to the track underneath inside the tunnel. Next, I'll begin the base paint on the mountaintop itself. I'm going to use the Woodland Scenics Earth Colors, Raw Umber, and Burnt Umber, and those will be mixed at about a ratio of 1 part color to about 12 to 14 parts water. Now, I'm going to really make a nice wash, loose wash, lots of water, and let it flow all over. Use the foam brush, dip it in there, and really dab it on. Really dab on all the water, fill in all the parts, let the wash flow, let those puddles build up. Now the purpose of all this color, this dirt color, the Raw Umber Burnt Umber color, is so that when we add the scenery on top, which will be grass, we want no white showing through, where this is going to be the dirt color underneath. Our next project is going to be gluing some rock detail onto the mountaintop. We use some Mod Podge matte glue and some of the bits of HYDROCAL rock that we did. Again, foam brush applicator, dip it into the Mod Podge, and just paste it on there. Both sides, get both the rock and the base. Really get the glue in there. The glue actually is also going to act as a sealing agent for the scenery. So we're fine with just getting the glue everywhere. Just really get it inside the bits. Glue all that section together. And we're going to set it aside to let it rest. Our last project for the day, I think, will be to paint the tunnel entrance. It's a Woodland Scenics Plaster Cast mold. We're going to use Slate Gray and a Stone Gray, and those will be about a 1 to say 12 to 14-ish wash. And we'll use the black, and that'll be at about a 1 to 20 wash, 1 part paint to 20 parts water. As you see here, again, foam brush, just really dab it on there and let the water wash flow everywhere. I start with the lightest color first, which is the Slate Gray. And then I start moving in to the darker colors. This is the Stone Gray that starts. I start dabbing that in, and you can see as it runs, it ends up running in the cracks of all the brickwork. And as this all goes on, all the sides, you see it starts to flow, and it looks like a natural brick wall where the mortar is darker, dirt and grime have collected in there. Just keep going over it, applying more. I didn't want to waste any of the paint, so I actually used the remaining paint on some of the stonework just to cover some of that. That's it for projects for today. Let's take a quick overview now and see where we're at. I guess now last thing I want to say is thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time on the Cape Cod Highline HO scale model train.